Hello there, listeners. Welcome to the Bullpen Podcast. Now, before we get started, I'd just like to quickly talk about Buzzsprout. So, over the years, myself and Jamie have worked incredibly hard and refined the Bullpen Podcast into the stylish cultural phenomenon that it is today. But none of this would have been possible without Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout as a platform allows us to upload our finished work and host it on major services such as Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes and more. Simply put, without Buzzsprout, we would not have reached as many ears as we have. Once you sign up to Buzzsprout, you immediately get access to several hours worth of upload allowance a month, as well as an easy to navigate website and analytical data of every aspect of your podcast and all its listeners. If you sign up using our link in the podcast description, you'll find information on how to sign up and grab a $25 Amazon voucher courtesy of Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest way to get your podcast off the ground. Join over 100,000 podcasters getting their voices heard and sign up using our link today. Good evening.
Hello.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you listen to this.
And you are listening to The Bullpen, a podcast about baseball, hosted by three of the finest minds
in the whole of this building. Wherever the cat is, that might skew the results.
She's been ejected from the ball game.
Yeah. She's been thrown out.
She's done a garden hire.
A wild pitch.
So episode 7, we're flying through these.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Who'd have thunk it?
And just like your average game show, we're recording more than one on the same day.
We are.
Yeah,
so look out for the World Cup special.
A little peek behind the curtain there.
Recorded live in front of a studio audience.
They soon left.
They've gone.
Soon had
They've left.
As soon as they realised what they were in for, they were like,
get your coat.
I've recorded the news.
So, everyone, what are we thinking for the big news of this week then?
I
guess
think
one
the
thing
biggest news so far that we found out in the last hour or so is that Ohtani has been placed on the DL.
On the down low.
He has.
So I guess one of the season's prodigies, if you like.
A phenom in some eyes.
Yeah, the
young, two-way phenom.
That bloody young upstart. He's come over here. He's took the...
Striking us all out.
Over here. He's gone to America.
He didn't even come here.
Never been here.
He's more than welcome, though.
He would love him on the show.
We would.
No, he's got time on his hands.
We'd love anyone on the show.
Just please be our friend.
I mean, the one person that we want on the show is coming to this country soon and will be in Nottingham or Birmingham or Eastbourne or Wimbledon.
Eugenie Bouchard.
Oh, yes. Eugenie.
Yeah, we want to talk baseball to her.
We would love to talk about various things with Eugenie. Yes. But yeah, Ohtani, he's was it up for stem cell work or something?
He's on the DL with a grade 2 sprain of the UCL on his right elbow. He's had both platelet-rich plasma and stem cell injections on Thursday.
Wow.
And they're going to be re-evaluating him in 3 weeks' time. Original reports said that he'd miss his scheduled shot Wednesday in Seattle due to a resurfaced blister, but this announcement points to something much more serious.
It clearly does, yeah.
So I don't think that's not good news for the LA Angels.
And isn't it just ironic? Didn't we speak about in episode 6?
We were
that all that team needs to derail this season
is one injury, one big injury to one of those two players, and lo and behold, this looks like a big injury so far.
Yeah, so if you're an Angels fan, you can blame those two.
Yeah,
you're not entirely free of blaming them, man.
No.
You're an accessory. But yeah, that's a huge blow for them, and it really does point to what can Trout do on his own, really, because they're not in fantastic form anyway. The Angels, sort of middle of the road-ish sort of form.
35 and 28, they're 4.5 games back behind the Mariners in the AL West. So yeah, they've got a bit of catching up to do.
And how long did it say he was out for?
They said he was out. They said he was scheduled to miss his scheduled start on Wednesday. But this is news much worse than that.
Middle of the road, do you mean like the Eagles, as in the band?
I mean, Ronan Keane's second solo album.
Okay. after so much good work on the first album.
So far in the middle of the road, it's got a line painted over it. Shout out to Ronan.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Big hero of my sister.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. In fact, I'm not proud to admit this, but the way that I got into reading Big Star was reading his autobiography.
Jesus.
Wow.
It was a case of having bought it for my sister for Christmas and then
Reading it yourself.
not having anything in the house to read. So it's like, there's
Breaking news on the bullpen.
Yeah. So it was like, yeah, let's read this. And there's like, there's got to be better stuff. So I went out and journeyed and got better stuff. Like Sean Hughes, one of Sean Hughes' novels.
Oh, I miss him.
Yeah.
I missed him on TV. Great Buzzcocks captain, wasn't he?
He
Yep.
was, yeah.
One of the finest.
Yes.
Well, they're replaced by equally fun Bill Bailey.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. Like a one-for-one trade there.
Who's the better host, though? Amstel or Mark Lamar?
I've got to
Mark
say
Lamar.
Lamar.
It's got to be Lamar.
Yeah, although,
Got to be Lamar.
I'm not going to...
Soft spot for the Amstel, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's not unfunny at all. He's a wind-up merchant,
Yeah.
as we've seen with Preston.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Getting him off the show.
Phenomenal. I just think Mark Lamar he's the one, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is the one.
He epitomises that show, much like sort of Angus Dayton and
Yeah.
Have I Got
Have
News
I got
for
news for
You.
you? The episode where Paul Merton comes in wearing the newspaper print of on his shirt, and
We're going off on a
we
tangent.
are, we are.
We're off on a bike
and
ride.
what happens to be Tangerine?
Are you alluding to a certain taste test there?
Yes. For,
You
this one of
you
the
completely lost me. I'm sorry.
one of the snack sensations of the
Yes.
any generation.
It's just an
Taste
excuse
test.
to eat while we
It
work.
is.
Really.
It is. Absolutely.
As if we needed an excuse.
We don't.
We absolutely don't.
So, do you want to run through what the test is today?
What are you sampling us with tonight? Mr. Manage?
We have 3 varieties of Jaffa cake.
Wow.
Is it a biscuit or is it a cake? I think we alluded to that on
We did.
episode 6.
Cake because it gets hard
After it's sell-by
after
date.
it's sell-by date.
But
But
on my receipt in buying one of these packets of Jaffa cakes, it said biscuits.
Wow.
Yeah. So what does Asda know?
Nothing.
the conundrum continues.
So I guess we'll have to try one of their biscuit Jaffa cakes first.
So we're starting with Asda first.
This
now,
is the
isn't it?
Asda one,
This
yep.
is the Asda one, yeah.
So I guess this is really just not necessarily which one's better.
No. And the fact that they were right next to the McVitie ones, which are the industry standard,
Yeah.
and you can't really tell the difference, is a good indicator.
No.
No.
It's sort of an experiment into brand loyalty.
Yes.
Yeah.
So have you always bought something from the same brand, even though it's half the price in a supermarket?
Are you a brand buyer? Will you always go for the household names?
Although I don't think there was too much difference in price between the Asda ones and the McVitie's ones. McVitie ones were £1 whole pound for 20, and I think the Asda ones were about 80p for 24.
I think the Audi ones, you can correct me if I'm wrong, 59p,
Yes.
24.
Correct.
Well,
I believe so.
So yeah, so that's
Top of my head.
that's the Asda one.
so we're going.
Should we go for the Audi ones now then?
Yeah.
because they do look different. And then
Yeah, they do.
Slightly, yeah. I mean, it's the same idea.
there's not so much biscuit or cake or sponge or whatever you want to
Sponge,
call
yeah,
it.
we'll go for sponge.
Um,
A lot softer.
A lot softer.
It's not got that sort of chewiness
no,
of the Asda one.
no, it's a bit like eating Turkish delight but without the taste.
Hasn't got as much of the orangey taste I like as well, though.
I don't mind it, to be honest. I
No,
quite
it's not
like
bad.
it. No.
No, if that was the only one available, that would be fair enough.
And the thing is, if we'd had that first, and if we'd been told that was a McVitie's, I wouldn't have questioned it.
Of course, no.
No.
No, it won't.
But then we haven't had the McVitie's yet, have we?
We haven't.
No,
So,
I'll
we
be
need
saving the best till last.
pick up the Jaffa cake.
I thought you'd say penguin then.
They do make penguins as well. Yeah.
make
So
most
this
things,
is
don't they?
the industry leading.
This is the big boys,
McVitie's.
This is the branded.
Oh, there you go. That's
I mean, it is good.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I say that about most things. Most
Yeah,
chocolate.
really.
Most chocolate.
Have horrendous sweet tooth.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's why I don't have any anymore.
Yeah.
I used to have a sweet tooth, but
Fell out.
have no sweet tooth left. They're very, very nice, I must admit.
So yeah,
I mean,
don't think not a great deal of difference
No,
between the Asda ones.
I think the real thing tastes like the real thing, as far as I'm concerned. The other two, well, the Asda one's close,
Yeah, not far behind.
and the Aldi one,
Yeah,
it's not bad.
no,
It's just it's not as
it's not what you've come to expect.
Do you buy it based on price? Because, like you were saying, 59p for 24.
Yeah,
You know, it's rather than £1 for 20.
yeah.
so half price for more.
You know,
So,
half
yeah,
price, you buy twice as much.
Yeah. In terms of me, I mean, I think this goes for anyone that's had to learn to budget.
So there's 300 grams in the box of the Aldi ones. So yeah, so there's that.
So yeah, I mean, me personally, or just for anyone that's had to learn to budget, I guess.
Yeah.
You walk down the supermarket aisle, you think, right, Jaffa Cakes,
Yeah,
and they're sitting in front of you with its little orangey glow. Is the supermarket brand price half the price of the McVitie's?
yes.
And I go for that one every time.
But are Jaffa Cakes something that you buy every week?
No, but if like I say, if I went down that aisle and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to get some of these, I'd go for the cheaper one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whereas I've always gone for the brand one.
Yeah, so there we go.
It's not always the case, but with Jaffa Cakes, I'm a McVitie's man.
Yep, that's fair enough.
So yeah, we're I guess that's our sort of quiz for the day, or our poll for the day.
Yep, definitely.
Are you a brand loyalist, or are you a smart shopper?
Yes,
A shrewd buyer?
or a happy shopper.
Shopper.
Happy shopper.
Yeah. So moving on, we've got tons of shout outs to do, haven't we, this week?
We have, yeah.
Have we?
Yep, so we'll start right away with our usual gracious sponsors, Softball Workouts. Go to @Softball Workouts on Twitter.
Yeah,
And,
especially you, Janie.
yes,
And our other favourite Canadian.
Carly Rae.
Yes.
Shout outs to her. Go
She
follow
managed to
her.
go there.
She's up and coming artist. Give them a follow. Go check that out. Also, go check out Absolute Bunts.
Yes.
One of the newest podcasts on the block.
Yeah.
Rapidly growing as well.
We're scared because they've gone in from the same angle as us.
Well, yeah.
They do it better.
Well,
Potentially, maybe.
we thought British guys that we are talking about baseball,
Yeah.
a sport that we know very little about.
American shouting, what the hell do you know about
Yeah,
baseball?
but here these bloody guys come.
Yeah.
Absolute stones on these guys.
Although we don't talk about as much football as they do.
Wow. Definitely go check that out. Episode 1 was about a week or so ago. One of the best bits, they analysed the lyrics to Take Me to the Ball Game. It's like, sort of line by line.
Rich Hall does a similar thing with Jailhouse Rock.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And that's quite scary.
And it's just outstanding. And these guys, it's just two guys, no pretense of knowledge of baseball, but it's a fun listen.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a hilarious listen.
Definitely give them a listen.
And
Fantastic.
hope to hear more episodes of that soon.
Absolutely.
You've got some shout outs, I believe.
Yes, we have. All the UK sort of baseball fan groups for the MLB teams.
Yeah.
There's at Braves in the UK, at SF Giants UK, Padres UK, UK Phillies, UK Mets Online, Texas Rangers UK, White Sox UK, UK Red Sox fans, UK Cubs guy, UK Brew Crew, Astros fans UK, UK Yankee fans, Oakland AUK, Orioles UK, UK Mariner, and at Blue Jays fans UK. There's also a few local baseball teams as well. Local tours, yeah. We've got at Notts Baseball, at BTM Baseball Club, at Blue Sox Baseball, at Leicester Royals, at Long Eaton Storm, London Mets, ULM Softball, Diamond Devils, Blade Runners BC, and Meteors Softball.
I did miss off the Eastbourne Bombers and their softball bombers, so check them out.
Yep. So shout out to all of them, give them a follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the Follow Friday.
And on a Friday.
We encourage everybody to follow each other and support each other because that's the type of guys we are.
Yeah, I mean, going back onto Absolute Bunts, they've proven that the community, the UK baseball community, very, very sort of, it's share happy.
Yeah, it's absolutely
trying to sort of push everyone's podcast and blogs and that kind of thing.
And we'll always try to retweet as much as we like.
Yeah, I think that's the best way for retweeting every sort of article, blog, podcast. Help your friends.
Yes,
help your friends. Let's show that,
and your frenemies.
Let's show that MLB is a thing in the UK.
Yes,
and we are very excited for the series next year.
Yes,
I've just realised that the bullpen account has done 420 tweets. So 420.
Blaze it up, baby.
Blaze it up.
Yeah.
Should we just retire the bullpen pod now at 420 tweets?
I would like to know.
We're on 193 followers. So if you could help us get to 200 by next week,
that'd be fantastic. Absolutely, yeah. 200 followers by the end of whenever this comes out.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thursday the 14th of January 1842, because we're a time travelling podcast.
Yes, we are. We're actually about to crash Stephen Hawking's party.
Yes, and tell him he's wrong.
You can tell him.
Yeah, I'll let you tell him.
Yeah.
He will we'll let Squirrel tell him.
Do you want to talk about one of your fave boys, Mad Bum?
Mad Bum. So he returned this week.
After first
start this year, actually.
Yeah, it is.
I believe.
After 60 games, I think.
Yes, I believe it was 60 games. Why do I always click the video? I don't want the video.
We've spoke about him a couple of times because that is a name you cannot ignore.
No. Madison Bumgarner
and Mad Bum.
Yeah, because Madison is such a funny name.
Yeah, he returned. He returned on Tuesday against the D-backs. Took a 3-2 loss, but he played pretty well.
Yeah,
he performed pretty well, and that's what, like I've alluded to in past episodes, that's what the Giants have been missing, is a steady bullpen. Yeah, and him returning along with Cueto, hopefully soon, and Samaja, hopefully get us back to well, I say winning ways. We've not done too bad recently, to be honest.
No, but I think you
want to push on from above 500 to get that little.
You would rather win games comfortably,
of course,
instead of coming back to win 5-4, for instance.
Well, that was a fantastic result.
One hell of a game, yeah.
Alan Hansen stepping up in the 9th, 2-run homer. Thank you, and then Brandon Crawford's on fire as well. He hit the winning RBI, to win it 5-4.
Good stuff.
So they won that series against the D-backs. They're doing pretty well at home at the minute, Giants. So long may that continue.
Yeah, just looking at that division as well.
It's very tight.
It's the only really close one in terms of
very tight.
All 5 teams can still potentially win.
Yep.
I think when I looked this morning, the Padres were only 4.5 back.
4.5 back, yep.
And they're still in 5th.
So you've got the D-backs 32-29, the Rockies 32-30, Dodgers 31-31. As are the Giants and the Padres 29-35. So, like you say, they're 4.5 behind.
We want the Padres to win that division. All of us on this podcast.
All 3 people.
Yes. You haven't got a choice. This isn't a democracy.
Yeah. All in favour?
Yeah, 2-1. Squirtle says yes.
He raises his hand.
Unanimous decision.
So that's 4-1.
Irreversible decision there.
Yeah, Mad Bum coming back can only be good for us.
Yeah.
Hope he stays fit again.
I want to talk about what I thought was a film initially, because it was on a flight. It was a domestic flight in the US, and it was one of those where it was a commercial TV, so you didn't have your own. It was one every couple of rows, and you had to watch it whatever was on,
because otherwise they just chuck you off mid-flight.
They say you watch this, you'll watch it, mate.
You will watch it. You will enjoy it.
And I did enjoy it, and it was all about this. So it was set in San Diego,
Okay.
about the Padres, and it was about the first female MLB star.
Okay.
And so I assumed it was a movie. It was a pretty good watch. It was like
Not Gina Davis.
It wasn't Gina. It'll never be Gina.
Or Rosie O'Donnell.
And so I assumed it was a movie because it was only a short flight, so I didn't get to see all of it. And then it came up again on, I think I was on a YouTube tangent, as you do.
Yep.
And the full movie was on there. So I went in. Turns out it's a series from about 2 years ago. Glowing reviews, high score on Rotten Tomatoes, binned after season 1. So this show is called Pitch. And at the time it was written, the angle it's a story about something that's closer than ever. So there's never been a female MLB player in history of the AAA game.
Yeah.
So this was alluding that we are closer than ever to sort of equality in that particular sport. Because like you as a women's cricket writer,
Yeah.
you've got separate teams. So you've got a men's county cricket championship and a women's equivalent. Whereas things like Formula One, it's integrated, so you could have female drivers.
Although Sarah Taylor, Sussex in England,
Okay.
apparently she was quite close to playing for the men's Sussex 11. She's played grade cricket in Australia to quite a decent standard. She's a wicket keeper.
Yeah.
And she stands up to all the quick bowlers. So
Good stuff.
So there is kind of that debate of whether they should be integrated or not.
Yeah.
Could you see men in a women's league though?
I don't think anybody would really want to see that. So
Yeah.
so
That's what people will argue. You know.
Yeah.
Are, no disrespect, but are men going to want to play in a women's division?
No.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because do you listen to Radio 2 at all?
Very sporadically.
There was, I think Ken Bruce, it might have been Ken Bruce this week, had an interview with a Formula 3 sportswoman, British. He was asking about her upbringing and how she got into motorsports and that kind of thing. And he asked her, in terms, because Formula 3 is the step up to Formula 1, and he asked her, how long do you think it'd take for you to be a racer in Formula 1? And she said, provided I'm winning, we're still talking 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah. So there's women driving NASCAR, don't they?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
But yeah, it's like we say, it's and this
Is it Danica Thomas?
could be, yeah, that does ring a
Name
bell.
rings a bell.
So this does sort of lead to the question that why on earth hasn't there been a female MLB player in any team?
I guess it stems from the different kind of paths in which they take, isn't it? Because softball seemed more of what the women play.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, there's even softball on BT Sport, which has been this week. But yeah, so I guess it's kind of from that. A League of Their Own, the film, is about women's baseball.
Yeah,
Yeah, one of the greatest baseball films of all time.
allegedly.
Yeah, you should check it out.
I have.
It's on Amazon at the moment.
Cool.
Yeah, you can buy it for about £6. So yeah, that's. So I guess even in like Olympic sport, I guess that's probably why you don't see baseball and softball in the Olympics anymore.
The baseball was dropped from the Olympics recently.
Yeah, because I guess you want it to be the one sport, don't you? Baseball or softball. And then each play that. So yeah, why don't we let the listeners tell us why?
Yeah, because it's something that sort of it should happen really, and I don't want it to happen because society now says it has to happen.
Yeah,
it should happen on merit, of course, but the odds surely that because women do play baseball, of course they play baseball. It's a big sport in America.
Yeah,
so
of course,
I think it'll take a marquee sort of decision by a team to hire a woman player or draft a woman player in, for then other women to see that as, oh, if she can do it, then the door's open now. We can all do it if we're good enough. So hopefully in time, because this came out in 2016. Pitch the show.
Is it on Flicks or?
It's worth a look. I think
YouTube.
It's Fox. The network Fox made it. It could be on YouTube. At least episode 1 is annoying.
Is it anything like Glow?
It's the thing is, I do like Glow.
Yes.
It's
for reasons.
One reason.
For the chief
wrestling.
Now, Alison Brie is a very fantastic actor.
She is. The thing with Pitch, it's a sports show.
Yeah.
But without that sort of theatrical sort of bravado that kind of can put you off.
Yeah.
Well, it's obvious that they're going to win,
mm-hmm.
and it's that sort of show offiness that some sports movies kind of do too much.
Yeah.
And it kind of puts you off. Where this is,
A League of Their Own has an unexpected.
It does, yeah. We won't spoil that, of course.
You'll have to watch it.
They all die at the end.
Yeah. They get sent to Japan during the Second World War.
What a twist that is!
Wow.
So and the thing with Pitch is because it's set in a non-fictional team, and it's got a more than believable sort of story. It does work.
So it hasn't got Madonna in it.
Unfortunately, she does not make a cameo. But yeah, I'd advise anyone with sort of, even if you're not a fan of baseball, it's a great show to get into.
Well, if you're not a fan of baseball, what are you doing listening to this?
Yeah, that's very true.
Or if you are a fan of baseball, what are you doing listening to this?
Why are you listening to this?
Yeah, that's more like it.
Surely you put on the wrong podcast.
Mr. Boltby, do you want to discuss the draft picks that have happened recently?
The draft picks, so yes.
That is
the
not giraffes.
Not the giraffes.
Or
no.
the game drafts.
I know giraffes. So yeah, the draft was this week, the 2018 draft, and the number 1 pick went to Casey Mize from Auburn, the right-handed pitcher. He went to the Tigers.
Yeah, first pick for them and
pick overall.
picked the first draft.
Yep.
Has he come out of college or high school then?
Good question, but I know he was previously undrafted.
Okay.
So he's now gone first overall.
This to me, the drafting system, I know you've sort of said it's something you'd like to see in other sports. I had no prior knowledge of how this worked.
Yeah.
When you said it was so how teams finished the previous season, the bottom team on the go picking drafts until all of them are used up.
Well, did you know that the San Francisco Giants had the second pick this year? Pablo Sandoval actually cost them the first pick overall.
Okay.
Because he hit a home run to win the last game of the season, which caused them not to finish bottom.
Oh, wow.
So Pablo Sandoval cost the Giants the first round pick.
At that point in the season, what are you playing for?
Well, he hits the ball out of the park, and then the fans
do it.
Dropped. Yeah, the Giants. So Casey Mize went to Detroit. The Giants chose a catcher, Joey Bart from Georgia Tech. I think they see him as a mould of Buster Posey. I think for when his time comes.
So, is it a case of where they slot into the organisation, so they're going to play?
I believe so. I think they'll go to their affiliate teams,
and then build up from there.
Because isn't it they can't offer them major league contracts? Is that right?
I don't believe so. I'm not 100% sure.
I think I did see that when I was doing my extensive research into this topic.
Quickly looked at an article for.
I looked how to spell draft.
So the third one,
and it's a thing under the door.
Yeah, it's why it's so chilly in here.
Breeze.
So the third one to the Phillies
Breeze.
was Alec Boehm from Wichita State,
Nice.
third baseman. Nick Madrigal to the White Sox from Oregon State, shortstop.
We missed a Wichita lineman fun there, didn't we? Because obviously, lineman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
Okay.
incredible comedy there.
Yeah. Played out for no laughs whatsoever.
to the tumbleweed.
Yeah. I was just, it's the obvious thing, and you're so intent on actually being factual. And
I try.
You miss out the obvious jokes, which is what we're here for.
The balance of funny and facts.
Yeah, it should always be in favour of funny.
100%.
It's never on or factual.
Oh dear. And we're only going to do the top 5 tonight. So the 5th overall pick was Jonathan India out of Florida. He's a third baseman as well.
Nice.
So only one pitcher was selected in the first 5.
And that was Pims.
Yeah. There's Casey Mize to Detroit.
So I guess what we'll say is, because obviously we're novices at this kind of thing.
Very much so.
How and this is for the listeners, how do you think your team's done in the draft picks? So how happy are you with your team's business? Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of picks when you think, I think
230,
something like that.
Yeah.
Some teams had five picks or so. So unless I go through and look at every single one, I'm not sure. But
yeah, true.
Our number 1 pick that we've chose first, Joey Bart, he does look very, very good. But like I said, they're looking at him more towards a Buster Posey sort of mould.
How is the draft selected then? I mean, not in terms of like teams, but I mean the players in their positions. So like, how did he get top draft and how
was he number 1 pick? It's what the scouts say, I believe.
Yeah, there's a rigorous scouting.
There's a rigorous scouting system, and it's all a matter of it's all a guessing game up until that particular night. Who's going to go number 1?
Yeah.
But that's just a projection. That's just who they think will go number 1. A team might think, you know what, I might pick Alec Bohm to be my number 1 pick.
From the first few chapters of Moneyball that I've read, the guy who went on to manage that side, when he was scouted, he was supposed to be a better prospect than Darryl Strawberry, who's apparently a legend. I don't know, but yeah, a very good baseball player. But yeah, so at that age, you don't know who's going to.
So it's raw, isn't it? You're looking at the raw talent out of anything and see how they go from there.
Yeah. Whereas I guess clubs over here are responsible for kind of bringing on young players from about 10 or 11, and then they're responsible for coaching them from that young age until they become a player, rather than have sort of the colleges and schools and stuff do it, and then go from there.
Darryl Strawberry, ex MLB player, 17-year career, banned 3 times for substance abuse, voted to the All-Star game 8 straight times.
Yeah, so decent player.
Popular, sort of one of those bad boy sort of type players. Yeah. Very imposing player, apparently. 6 foot plus, 6'6".
When you look at draft picks as well, the number 2 projected pick actually was picked 18.
I was going to ask, because you said that obviously it's a projection.
It is, yeah.
So teams looking at that. So say the second draft pick was it your guys?
Yeah, he was ranked 6th.
So not necessarily going to pick the second draft and third draft.
No.
So they're obviously going to pick. They would have done research themselves, I would have thought.
Yeah, it obviously depends on what the team feels they need.
And then I guess, the positions that they need to fill.
A mixture of looking who they are as a player, as a person, and then stats, I guess.
Who they're looking to trade for as well, to fill in certain gaps. It is a lottery at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It is.
Have you ever played the NBA games?
I have, yes.
Do you remember was it 17, we had the career mode?
Yep.
We could start out as the amateur player.
Yep.
And then at the end, you have to do a little video with your family.
You play one final game, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's in that game where you get your draft projection.
And then basically you haul yourself out for a university to come and buy you or give you a contract.
Yep.
So that's where you earn your money.
You can pick from
in college.
You can pick from 6 universities, I believe, 6 or 8,
something like that. Yeah.
And then you go through their sort of few games, and you get to the college final, and that's when the NBA teams come in. And however you scored on that particular game influenced your draft.
Yeah. So you
draft position.
choose Delaware.
Always Delaware.
Delaware. Yep.
Bear Delaware.
Yeah,
That's where you earn your money.
it is. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's a brief rundown of the draft.
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't had a good look at the Padres draft, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. I guess
You have the 7th pick.
that doesn't surprise me. What does surprise me is how we were 7th worst after last season.
Imagine Red Say lay down there. It doesn't even really matter.
Just why do the Red Sox suck?
Exactly. Why do they suck so much? Why do they suck so much?
Wow, this guy's got puns for days.
Yes.
He's riding off into the pun set.
Yeah.
Can I just say, let's do a little fashion update, because all the years I've known you, you always wear a smart shirt or a sporting top,
Okay.
and you've gone for the smart shirt, untucked.
Yeah.
I must add, it's a brave move.
It is. It's just because I finished work, went home and wrote a couple of articles, and then hot-footed it straight over to Bullpen Towers. And that's the reason why.
Because it's a good. You could potentially go for drinks,
Yeah.
and in the same hour fill in for my receptionist Stacey
Yes.
after one of her many asthma attacks.
The pollen count is a bit high. So,
It is.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Excellent
That's
stuff.
why I'm crying.
Laughing on the inside.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
shall we
shall
talk
we-
about our heroes?
Yeah.
Shall we?
Well, we've got to start with the guy who's been all over our TV screens this
Yeah.
evening.
Not helped by one of his teammates, who helpfully, when throwing in, just decided to drop the ball. It only cost the Pirates one run.
So there I am feeding one of my white tigers, and I hear an uproar in the cinema room.
Not from the Tiger. Either.
Not from the Detroit Tigers.
Yes.
You got one of them kidnapped.
I race in and I see you spitting feathers over this mistake.
Yeah.
Because hasn't he missed a couple of games? Cool.
He played on the 6th, I'd like to say. And today.
So yeah, he's come in, had a mixed bag of a game.
Yeah, it looked like he was having a nice little hit as well. He could have brought one of his own men home, and then no, that didn't happen. He was out on first, but he had an alright game.
He's pitched 5.1 innings tonight, which I call 5 and a third innings. 8 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts.
So, yeah.
Cool.
One of the commentators was saying that Cool's got all the tools.
I hoped you'd say that.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Because otherwise you were going to say it yourself.
I want to steal your thunder.
Well, you always do.
Why break the habit of a lifetime?
To be fair, I'm more of a lightning man anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
I would never take your lightning.
No.
How's
Why
Johnny?
Why does it always rain?
Johnny's still injured. On that note, Johnny's still injured, Johnny Cueto.
Is there a time on when he's due back?
There was talk of him not being too long. I think the end of June, was rumoured to be his sort of returning point. Like I've said with Mad Bum, the quicker we get our best pitchers back, the better, because he's one of our best pitchers. There's also been talks. Bruce Bochy has said that he would support a reunion between Lincecum and the Giants.
Okay.
He was released by the Rangers on Tuesday. The Giants always can have a soft spot for Lincecum, based on his what he did with them.
Did you hear about just quick? Did you hear about PJ Conlon, the Irish player?
Fellas.
He was drafted, or he was sent to. I can't remember the team he was sent to, but no less than a week later, back he is at the Dodgers.
Nice. Is that how bad they're playing?
And he put a tweet up saying thanks to the Dodgers, happy to start my career at, I can't remember the team offhand, and obviously a week later back. So all he did was he took his same tweet and crossed out the teams and changed them to the Dodgers. You can read that out if you want.
His His initial tweet was a huge thank you to the Mets organisation for everything over the past few years, especially the opportunity to fulfil my lifelong dream of playing in the major leagues. I'm excited for this next chapter with the Dodgers and can't wait to get started.
Sorry, yeah, all the way around.
So, he's changed it to a huge thank you to the Dodgers organisation for everything over the past few days, especially the opportunity to fulfil my lifelong dream of playing in Oklahoma City. I'm excited for this next chapter with the Mets and can't wait to get started.
Brilliant stuff.
Fantastic. Yeah,
sense of humour, that lad.
Absolutely.
The Irish wit.
Yes. Talking of a sense of humour, maybe. An incident that made it onto British TV.
Yes.
On BBC News.
Oh, wow, yes. Yeah.
BBC Breakfast. The only breakfast time news programme that you'll ever need to watch.
Okay.
For the likes of Steph McGovern doing the business with her Middlesbrough accent.
Oh, I do miss Eamon Holmes in the morning, though.
But he's ITV, and ITV's rubbish. And with Carol with the weather, and BBC Look North from Hull, when they say we're going to go over to the news near you, and it's like it's not even relevant to us.
Nowhere near us.
50 miles away from this place.
They featured one of our very own teams, or a spectator from one of our very own teams.
Yes.
In the Padres. Should we pass it over to our expert?
Padres expert.
Yes, and I'll nominate Jamie to speak about this. So, I mean, I didn't really know about this until you came out with it. So a ball has been played, if I've got this correct. This lady in the crowd holding a little cup of beer.
A whole pint.
Was it a full pint?
Full pint. It's got to fit a baseball in.
Yeah, it wasn't a Bacardi Breezer bottle, was it?
No.
So she's there minding her business, watching the ball game.
Yeah.
And next minute, this ball flies towards her.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the video actually, so I'm not sure if she's aware or if she's talking to her mate or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the ball lands in her.
We'll put a link up to the.
Yeah, we'll link the video out. So the ball lands in her cup. A beer obviously goes everywhere. The crowd then chant, down it, down it, down it.
In that accent.
In a very broad Mansfield accent. Yeah. Crazy that was San Diego. And she did, didn't she? She the good sport that she is, chugged the lot, yes. Or what was left.
She did.
Good 3/4 of it.
So that's brilliant stuff, really.
Yeah. If that's the way that baseball's going to get on British TV.
Yeah, I do wonder, I won't do sort of, I don't know, CNN Today show own goals from League One.
From the time that Kevin Pilkington got beaten by the Notts County goalkeeper from his own half.
Oh, excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. I did actually watch...
I was there.
I was in goal. I scored that goal against myself. I've been on a football tangent as well on YouTube, but it keeps bringing up World Cup highlights.
Yeah,
alluding to our World Cup special that we did today. But it was the '94 World Cup in the United States.
Yeah, are you on about Tina Turner?
No, not this time. And so
simply the best.
Better than all the rest.
They were showing all these highlights, and these two guys, the two commentators, sort of talking about the action. One knew his stuff, and one was just dazzled by every bit of play that ever went off. It was really good stuff.
Yeah, Ian Rush.
Alan Hansen.
And Mark Lawrenson.
Who does a prediction thing for the BBC website.
Lawrenson does,
yeah. Apparently he hasn't predicted Liverpool to lose in 4 years.
Liverpool would have been unbeaten in the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I think aside from that, though, he doesn't do too bad with his predictions.
No.
Because I think they do head-to-heads, don't they? So Slabs will predict against him.
One of the things I find hilarious is Paul Merson trying to pronounce footballers' surnames. It's absolute
especially Paul Merson.
Paul Merson trying to pronounce his own name. It's phenomenal. It's fantastic.
Good stuff.
Absolutely fantastic.
Good stuff.
So next, your guy,
Mikey Trout,
the one, the only.
Trout and proud.
So there I'm at work
on
today.
his own now. Bless him.
He's carrying that team. There I am at work trying to research a Mikey Trout fact.
As you do at work.
And yeah,
got nothing else
as
to
well
do.
as my job, I should say. And so I googled Mike Trout news to see what he's been up to. And there's an article from the LA Times.
Putting on a fishing expedition. Fishing for trout. Imagine that, fishing with trout. That'd be a great show. I'd watch that.
Yeah, I'm going to make it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, the LA Times, and obviously Google shows a brief clip of the article. So I opened it up thinking, yeah, great stuff. Met with a giant page that says, and I will quote, "Unfortunately, our website is currently available in most European countries. We are engaged on the issue and committed to looking at options that support our full range of digital offerings to the EU market." Why is a newspaper blocked in another country?
Nice.
Is this China? What's going on?
No, because if it was China, we wouldn't be on this now.
Well, no, we wouldn't be allowed to speak.
Wouldn't be able to see the link.
It's just crazy that it's not like an extremist. It's not like Breitbart, is it? It's just LA Times.
LA Times, I don't know. Or,
I mean, well, I don't know which way they swing.
yeah.
But
In the news direction.
yeah, like how? Why? I don't understand it.
No.
And why just specifically European countries? They were saying we should
I don't-
fly to Azerbaijan. Well, that's Europe. Should we fly to?
The
Right.
Azores.
Yeah, fly to, I don't know, Nigeria and then get it up. Like, what's going on there?
Wow.
I guess you'd be able to get it cheaper.
I suppose.
The old Viagra.
Look at, yeah.
And then you could read the article then after.
Ask if. So, yeah, that did strike me pretty odd. But I did manage to find a little snippet of Mike Trout newsworthy source. So this is recent. It's his game on Saturday where he went 3 for 5, scoring a single, triple, home run, and a tag evading stolen base. So that propelled him to 5.3 wins above replacement, which is
WAR?
War.
what is it good for?
Absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that puts him at on pace for a 14.6 WAR season, which would surpass Babe Ruth's 14.1 in 1923 as the best ever by a position player.
Cool. But are his stats as good as Mickey's though?
They're very close, aren't they?
Yeah.
In terms of batting stats. I did read a story about Trout that yes, he's getting better, but this season he's worked on his defence,
Okay.
Yeah.
which has kind of been the weak link, I guess, of his game. There was a video I saw of him making this incredible catch.
Okay. Bare hand.
No glove, but it was sort of one of those where he's reaching across his body
Okay.
with his mitts and catching like
So one of them regulation catches in cricket.
one of those weird sort of he's thrown his body at a weird angle
Yeah.
kind of catch. It's one of these things where he's not getting glowing
No.
reports of his game in general, but he's doing everything right.
So, yeah. So on the fielding kind of defensive thing, I want a shout out to Fran Wilson, Middlesex, because the other week I was at a game that she played in, and this player absolutely creamed it in her general direction. She dived full length, plucked it out of the air, and took the catch.
Excellent.
And no gloves, so it's like, why can't baseball players do it?
True.
Yeah.
True. Something that's kind of lost in.
It's like, and they're catching with the wrong hand as well, aren't they?
Yeah, it's not their throwing hand, is it?
No.
So
Yeah.
strange concept, but it was a good catch.
It works for them.
Yes.
It works for them.
And shall we quickly discuss our?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Do you want to talk
Mascot
about
Mayhem.
Oh, yes, Mascot Mayhem.
something that
absolutely.
blew my mind?
Yes.
When you told me.
And a lot of people. So the Blue
Dare
Jays,
say it blew me off.
Blue Jays, I think that he.
Yes, that would make sense.
Yeah. So
That's what it stands for.
yes.
Nothing else.
Yeah. So the original Blue Jays mascot from 79 to 99
Okay.
was BJ Birdie.
PJ Birdie.
Yes. So in the UK, that's quite that's a little bit of innuendo there.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I don't get it, sorry.
No, not at all. I'm just going on what other people have said. So yeah, he was replaced by Ace and Diamond.
Okay.
Sounds like a great crime fighting duo, that doesn't it?
Diamond was dropped by the sounds of it, but Ace looks like he's a decent fella.
The ace in the pack.
Yes. Yeah, he seems like a more decent guy than the Astros mascot. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah.
What was his name again?
Dave.
Gerald.
Hank.
Yeah. What was his name?
I actually can't think of his name, to be honest.
That guy. Anyway.
Yeah, just that guy.
Yeah.
So BJ.
Surprisingly, he looks like a bit like a blue jay from what I've heard. I've never actually seen a blue jay with my own eyes.
Are they really blue?
Or are they even jays? They might be named Harry or something.
That's the burning question.
Yeah. But there you go.
Just going to quickly give it.
Orbit.
Orbit.
That's his name.
Orbit,
He looks a little sod, doesn't he?
He does. Did
Look
you see
at that picture?
Did you see the Did you see the link?
I mean, that picture
that we shared the other day, where he was going to get a teddy for one of the fans, and then he was like, "No, you don't want that one. You want this other one." And then he just kept getting an even bigger one, and then eventually got a bear that was even bigger than he was. It's like, what are you up to, mate?
Shout out to the Blue Jay pub in Derby, which came up while I was trying to find the Blue Jay mascot.
So yeah, if you ever want to host a MLB event,
3.5 stars on TripAdvisor. Opens 7 till 11. D21 7HX.
so you'd get a half 8 gaming.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely get 6 slot gaming.
Yeah,
100%.
So
With bar or table service to match.
yeah, excellent.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So last on our sort of around the people sort of thing that we're going to focus on is Hayley Dawson.
Hayley Dawson, our little our own mascot, I guess, of this podcast. We've sort of our little adopted hero that we've took on and followed her progress.
Definitely. Where's she been this week?
Well, she's notched off 2 more on her little journey.
Yep, number 10 and number 11.
Yep. So June the 3rd, she was at the Seattle Mariners Safeco Field.
Yep.
And then a couple of days later, on the 11th, on the 7th, was her 11th pitch, Oakland A's at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum.
That's a bit of a distance as well for one more, isn't it?
Oakland, California.
Yeah.
Yep.
To Seattle.
Yeah,
Seattle's
Washington.
northwest, I believe.
not 100% sure. I think she did fly United, which I think's the theme of that.
She's been flying a lot with them.
I think there was a picture of her in the cockpit with the pilot. Just just great that they've took that on board as well and given her service and sort of shared her story.
Yeah.
She's doing. I mentioned again the little designs of the prosthetic hand. Just so good how they've done that.
It is.
Great idea that they've done that.
Fantastic.
And 11 by June, so the season's only really 3 months
60 games in.
Yeah.
So
Third of the way in.
Potential.
Hope
to. I think the plan is now to get it done this season.
Okay.
So we'll have to see.
Yeah.
And it would be lovely if, I don't know, if one of them was planned for the World Series, but again, that would be difficult to plan.
Yeah, it would. Why not?
Unless she does the 30 and then...
Or All-Star game.
That would be great.
Unless she's already done Washington.
Well, she could still, if she does the 30...
Technically do it.
And then do the All-Star game to round it off. That'd be lovely. And I think that would be something they would do. Most teams, or all teams should do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
So we'll follow her around the grounds. And we'll focus on her and what she's doing and where she's going.
Absolutely.
So, I guess I was quite surprised about how you can pick players for the All-Star game. Quite a bit of a...
Yeah.
And you can choose 35 times.
35 picks.
Yeah.
Any noteworthy choices by anyone?
I think I just picked favourites of mine.
Yeah.
Rather than... Or I went for people that got the best stats. And I didn't have any clue who they were.
I don't remember seeing... Oh, yeah, sorry, the stats were there, aren't they? but I think I was doing it on my phone. I could not be bothered to scroll across.
Right.
But I think you sent this to me, well, all of us on the Facebook group,
You did, yeah.
and instantly I thought, Bartolo, you are off.
Yes.
My man, you are off to DC. Pack your bags.
And you
are
were
going.
devastated, weren't you? When you
Wasn't a choice.
Wasn't
a choice.
So I guess it depends on their rotor, doesn't it? If they can.
I suppose. Very surprised to see a lot of Padres players though there.
Sympathy vote, I think.
Maybe. Well, I mean, a lot of them were there. So when I chose the national sort of,
They're going for the division.
well, fingers crossed. Most of my six was Padres. I think Andrew McCutcheon was one of mine as well.
Yep.
Coming in Kutch. I can't remember the other choice, but yeah, very Padres.
Can't remember any.
For the other side, I think a lot of Sox players were there. Red Sox players.
Because they suck.
Why do they suck?
They're awful. Awful team.
But did the Marlins win?
The Marlins lost 4-1. They are now 22 and 40.
But they're going to win the World Series this
They
year.
are going to win the World Series.
Don't count them out.
Don't count them out.
Absolutely don't count them out.
So, shall that round it up? Or?
Yeah, because some of us have to be up at like 4 o'clock.
An early morning, are you?
Yeah.
Not one of them is me.
I'm going to cover the first Women's One Day International at Worcester
Excellent.
between England and South Africa.
Brilliant.
My first official kind of game. So yeah, that should be fun.
Should we talk about potential news for next week? We've got something lined up.
Yes,
haven't
we do.
Have we?
Yes.
A certain
Tell us.
an interview of sorts.
Yes.
So we reached out to try and find sort of UK-based teams
Yeah.
because we want to know more about the sport.
And the more local, the better.
Local, definitely. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll interview done and dusted for the next episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll be,
It's always good.
Yeah, good stuff.
absolutely.
So let's drop the stuff as usual. Bullpen Pod on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm Dringy Pie on there.
I'm at Famous Strauss.
And I'm at T. Boltby. Feel free to look at the YouTube page
Yeah,
as well.
YouTube links are
Just-
flying around somewhere.
Yeah, just search for the bullpen.
Just spread the word, really.
With the
It's-
pixelated baseball.
We've got a nice new little
Yes.
logo there for us.
So spread the word, it's
Spread the love.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Spread the hate if you think we're not good enough.
that's
Tell
true.
us we suck.
That's true.
Because
Have we had anybody tell us we suck yet?
Not one person.
and I'm disappointed. You, the listener, suck.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. No, you don't suck. We love you.
But to be fair, they haven't got this far into the podcast, obviously. Because
Tell you what we need to do, because
Yeah.
this is something I've seen from other podcasts.
yeah,
A name for our listeners.
yes,
That's something we could potentially ask the listeners what they want to be called.
the pens.
Because there's one podcast I'll drop, The Filthy Casuals. Amazing podcast. It's 3 Australian comedians, mostly talking about video games, but with the comedy shenanigans thrown in as well.
Yeah.
And they call their fans the Filthy Animals.
Yes.
So yeah, that's something we could look at possibly.
Yep, the balls.
Calling our fans also the Filthy Animals
Yes.
for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. Or we could just like Jeff, because I'm sure he's listening. He's the only one.
Should we just one quick shout out. Should we shout out one of our newest followees?
Yeah.
Yes.
Friar Phil SD.
Yes.
Now this guy, mild-mannered man from San Diego, or supports San Diego Padres.
From New York.
Yeah, I believe so.
Because that's the natural.
Very, very calm man, mild-mannered, just doesn't...
Never says a bad word about anyone.
No. He sort of does live videos every now and then. I think kind of like a little video blog of his sort of
Slog.
if you will, of following the Padres. Yeah, hilarious. We listened to one, didn't we, earlier? And we were in hysterics.
Yeah.
So
Should we give a shout out to the oldest listener, our most loyal fan of all time ever?
Do it.
Bush League Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bush League Steve.
Yeah.
Loyal follower at this point.
Yes.
Why are you still?
You must see something.
It's not like we're paying him, is it?
No.
So I don't know.
You don't know my number listener anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, he's the original fan. So yeah, so big shout out to him.
Good stuff.
let there be love.
Should we call it
We'll have to wrap it up for this episode.
So thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
And see you next time.
See you later.
Peace out, everyone.
Peace, guys.
Bye bye.